racism is everywhere and it's institutionalized. We cannot really be racist because racism is prejudice plus power. Nothing I say up here nor anywhere in the world will impact stop front.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another beatzillapdx official news break. And as you see, the title of this is called It's Mr. Simptastic. And, they do these exposés every now and then on how people adapt with race and whatnot. And, we've seen these different things. Usually that's like on ABC. And they'll do these different tests and, just to see how people react to one another in, racial settings and to see if these biases come out, more often than not. Well, in this particular case, this is a black barbershop. And so they, I guess, run their experiment within the black barbershop and they get a response from one of these patrons. Now, again, one might look at this and say, okay, this whole thing is staged. True indeed, that very well could be, and all these people could be actors. If that's the case, then the script that's going on in this particular video is very important to catch. Also, with that being said, the black barbershop has for long time been known to be one of the places where black conversation takes place. And sometimes black conversation that would not necessarily take place in a house of worship. So pretty interesting that this video comes along and just looking at what they're trying to push. Yeah, we might want to just examine it because black barbershops have been a staple in black culture forever. So why now are we running experiments like this on a black barbershop? With that being said, look at this little clip and I'll play it through the first time and we might have to just go back and check some parts out.
You don't belong with a girl like that anyway.
You can't disrespect customers like that. It's none of your business. You should be ashamed of yourself for doing that.
Ashamed of myself?
Yeah, that woman did nothing to you.
Did you see what she looked like?
She was a blonde white girl.
Look at this place. We up in Harlem.
So go downtown.
This is Denny Mo's.
So go downtown.
She should go downtown.
And they can cuss you out downtown? Is that all right for them to cuss you out downtown?
Why would they cuss me out?
Because you're black and you don't belong there. That's the same thing you're saying to that white girl.
It's not the same.
It's the same thing.
They're ruining the black family.
What?
For Nicholas Richards, that comment is the last straw.
Drugs are ruining the black family. Poverty is ruining the black family. That white girl's not ruining the black family.
Would you be with a white girl?
Maybe, but that's none of your business. And if I brought a white girl in here, you better not say nothing to her.
You know the way we get treated. Yeah, give them some of the same medicine. Plenty of black people did nothing wrong.
You messed up.
Why are you shaking your head?
Because it's ignorance, and I can't deal with ignorance.
Okay, so now he's calling it ignorant. But one thing that you noticed that he was doing was caping for her, caping for the blonde white girl. Now, being in a barbershop that is completely filled with black folks, and the history and the role that the black barbershop has played within our community, we understand when people with the certain accents might come into play and then start talking off as if he has a legitimate point there, which he does not. So one of the first questions that we would always have to ask in this case,
where's your family from?
Because again, when we are in one of the historic places of black conversation and black thought, which would be what used to be the black church, and then the black barbershops and / beauty salons, that is where sister talk takes place. Like in my grandmother's generations, the the beauty salon was another one of those places. So barbershops and beauty salons have always been kind of like exclusive environments where Black folks could always feel comfortable to speak freely amongst one another about different things that we may experience here in the society. Also, just a random amount of things. Food, there's plates that get sold in spots like this. You know what I'm saying? So people would come in here and get their entrepreneurial business off. So again, even circulating the dollar within the community and even learning other people's hidden skills. All of these things take place within this Black barbershop. And this dude can't seem to figure out this woman does not belong in that environment, because that's where these people are supposed to have their sacred space as building with their own. Every other group, they have lodges and unions, and there are legal things that they have set up that they control and allow who they allow in. They control who they allow in. So I don't think that there should be anything tampered with that mechanism in our community with the Black barbershop. And this dude is really going out of his way. That's wrong. So let's just take a listen again.
Jumps out of his seat.
You don't belong with a girl like that anyway.
You can't disrespect customers like that. It's none of your business. You should be ashamed of yourself for doing that.
Ashamed of myself.
Now, why did he first feel compelled to say anything? You should feel ashamed of yourself. So the first thing he went to do was downplayed that sister's, because she's one of the barbers in there. So you're downplaying her safe space right off the rip to say you can't treat her like that. Now, I wonder how many Black customers could have came in there and they say, hey, you got to get up out of here. Would he have spoke up and said, hey, you can't treat her like that?
No, baby.
Let's hear some more.
Yeah, that woman did nothing to you.
Did you see what she looked like?
She was a blonde white girl.
Look at this place. We up in Harlem.
So go downtown.
This is Denny Mo's.
So go downtown.
She should.
Okay. Historically known Black-owned barbershop. This is Denny Mo's. So again, damn the historic context of the location I'm on. You should be letting her in here and you have no right. See, what he is doing is telling Black folks, relinquish all of your private safe spaces because somebody else wants to be there. And that is the message that this brother is pushing. He's not pushing a different message at all. So just notice that he comes out caping for this woman. And that is once again, why we call him Mr. Simptastic. And this is his little theme song.
It's Mr. Simptastic, clear game tragic.
Let's hear some more.
Go downtown.
And they can cuss you out downtown? Is that all right for them to cuss you out downtown?
Why would they cuss me out?
Because you're Black and you don't belong there. That's the same thing you're saying to that white girl.
Now, he's saying go downtown. And is it okay for them to cuss you out? She didn't really cuss her out, but she's just letting it be known that you need to get up out of here. That happens in other places. That happens in other cities and towns right now in America. What is this dude talking about? Now, see, this is when these Black immigrants start coming over here and start integrating themselves into foundational Black American culture. He's sitting in a historical place that is known to be a safe haven and a safe space for foundational Black Americans since its inception. Here he is saying, no, give all of that up. Because what I want to do, I came over to America to get next to Becky. You should not ever be interfering with my Becky relations off up in here in this here barbershop. And see, this is how he's coming at it. You don't have, so he's trying to scold the sister for protecting her space.
It's Mr. Simptastic, clear game tragic.
It's not the same.
It's the same thing.
They're ruining the black family.
What?
For Nick.
Okay. What? Now let's hear where he goes.
Nicholas Richards, that comment is the last straw.
Drugs are ruining the black family. Poverty is ruining the black family. That white girl's not ruining the black family.
It's Mr. Simptastic, clear game tragic.
Sir, everything you just mentioned comes from that woman's community, does it not?
Shuffling and scratching and bootlicking and buck dancing.
I mean, good grief, dude. Good grief. So what you were seeing is him basically saying all of this sacred space, forgo all of that history right there, because I'm trying to get my interracial sexual access on. So now, and I'm assuming, because the way this scenario is, this woman isn't even in there for him. So just looks how he hop up to the rescue. Oh, no, you can't be doing that. Now, listen to where we go.
Would you be with a white girl?
Maybe, but that's none of your business. And if I brought a white girl in here, you better not say nothing to her.
Damn it. Now, see, that's the problem right there, brother. Now, see, maybe, and if I did bring her up in here, you better not say nothing to her. Partner, your love for Becky doesn't transcend this sister's safe space, brother. That's her place of employment. Now, you go into the backwoods or somewhere else because, number one, you in a black barbershop in the middle of Harlem. And then you over here caping for this and trying to rail on the sister and then try to get bucked. But I dare you. You bet not. This makes no sense. So let me show you how that little interaction is looking. I'm gonna play that again because just the look on his face and the hesitation in the response is classic.
That white girl's not ruining the black family.
Would you be with a white girl?
Maybe, but that's none of your business. And if I brought a white girl in here, you better not say nothing to her.
You know the way we get treated. Yeah, give them some of the same medicine. Plenty of black people did nothing wrong.
Now that right there, you see how he is feeling right there. Do you understand how many black folks we have like that in our community? He's gonna sit right up in there with all of these black folks, and this is how he is really, really feeling. You understand? So you got to understand how to spot individuals like this, because what he's doing is basically saying, give up your personal space and foregoing the historical importance of this venue, and do it because at the end of the day, I need some interracial sexual access. Even though in this scenario, this ain't even my woman. But I feel so bad for Becky getting treated that way. So here, let me take a shot at the black community. The problem is drugs. The problem is poverty. The problem is, really, dude? You doing all of this for her, huh? Partner.
Where's your family from?
And you hear the accent. You hear the accent in this dude. And see, so guys like this, he would be the dude in this particular video, in this clip, that is railing against delineating our needs and from the United States government. And because this is the type of person, and these type of individuals sit right up in our community. This is what we're talking about when we say tether, and it's no different than this right here.
Right there, I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, sir, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is...
So see, this tether agenda is not new. It's just becoming more evident as we become more aware of what has been going on to us and around us as we are today. And so now everybody, hey, you guys can't do this. No, we need to get back to having our own spaces and making sure we defend and protect that. Why did you think that this was important for them to put on national TV? The reason being is because they want this message to go out in Black spaces across the world, and especially the United States, and especially where foundational Black Americans will be. So this is not by accident. This is by design. And real quick, let me go ahead and just read. Well, first, let me play this little clip, and then I'm going to read this last little piece of this article that I found about the role of the Black barbershops in our community. So let me go ahead and play this.
Meet James Cheatham.
You come to the shop, I play gospel, I play jazz. Not that off the wall, yakety yak, cussing like, I don't do that.
James has been doing hair at his barbershop, heads up, for over 50 years.
Heads up, because, about people getting the haircut, looking good, heads up, you know what I mean? Not heads down.
But he wasn't always this smooth.
I wasn't that good at first.
Although he's the son of a barber, he was a little rough around the edges. But it didn't take long before he found his groove.
I got better and better, and, my name got out there, so the rest is history.
13 years before James opened his shop further up on 6, Caleb Jackson Jr. was closing his father's, Jack's, here, also on 6.
He was here in 1933 until he died in 1974.
His first shop was on Aberdeen and Strawberry Street, right next door to City Hall.
Black barbers have been in Harrisburg since the 1840s.
In fact, at one time, he says, most barbershops were Black-owned.
It's something that Blacks did. They did well.
And that pride, planted years ago, is still deeply rooted today.
We have to be the example. You got the stars, basketball stars, stuff like that. But we, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, we have to be the stars. Be $105, man. Because you were an Eagle guy, I got to charge you extra.
On 6th Street in Harrisburg.
Actually, you was an Eagle guy.
Amber Gerard, WGAL News 8.
And now you understand. See, there's not just some kind of weird emotional interracial sexual access thing going on. See, that's his issue. And of course, an issue that they want to make sure they push out there. So, hey, Black men, keep an eye out for the blonde, blue-eyed white woman. Get the buttermilk complected one, as Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to say. And the other part you're hearing is entrepreneurship, Black businesses, Black economics. And in this next article that I want to read real quick, you're going to hear a little even deeper. It says the role of barbershops in the history of the African-American entrepreneurship. Let's see. Okay, it says a new book describes how Black-owned barbershops became one of the first ways of African-American men to become entrepreneurs. In an interview with Marketplace.org, host Kai Rasadow Vassar College history professor Quincy Mills describes the Black-owned barbershop as one of the first ways African American men become entrepreneurs. It says cutting along. Oh, okay. So it's his book coming from because this is a little absurd. The author of the new book on the subject called Cutting Along the Color Lines, Black Barbers and Barbershops in America. So that's the name of his book. And it's going into the history about how these barbershops is deeply entwined with the history of slavery. So right there, we're identifying foundational Black American history without a shadow of a doubt. This does not have anything to do with immigration or immigrants or anything like that. This is foundational Black American business. After the Civil War, barbering became a way for some African Americans to, quote, find some little pockets to sort of figure out how they could at least earn a little bit of money and control their time, which of course was what the slaves did not have control over. Makes sense. Another quote goes, so barbering still serves as the avenue for men, whether they want to own a barbershop or just work in one. But also barbershops provide this sort of central hub, if you will, for communities across the country to understand the nature of their respective communities. And so I would argue that's just as vital to an economy as the number of jobs one can generate. Well, so if that would be vital, one could argue that that's just as vital to an economy as the number of jobs one can create. Well, think of a Black economy that might have a up and pending cash infusion. We getting back to the conversation of entrepreneurship with just a little bit of hand of equal. Because see, what we can't do is say we're getting some kind of advantage. No, because we have always been held back in the first place. So what this is doing is putting us finally on equal footing to be able to then start making some moves for ourselves as a community. So it just is odd to me that we're seeing this as a one of those things to say where Black conversations and Black economics it's already been known to be a central hub. But what is changing about that dynamic? The economics that now could take place with all of that conversation, with all of that Black money being in one Black room. So do not miss that. It's way more meticulously I should say devious, and it they're paying a lot of attention to detail, family. So another contingency plan if Black folks get reparations. That's what this is. So let's put this out there in your mind to say, well, if you guys start having Black spaces, you guys should be wanting to let everybody off a pen. Yes, you can have access to the functions of products from a business, but that doesn't mean you need to have Becky inside of the boardroom. And this is kind of pushing that line and understanding the history. He does not have our history here. So that's another element when you have non-foundational Black Americans speaking for the Black community in America. That just doesn't make any sense because they don't have the historical ties and most definitely do not share in our understandings of what we're facing and dealing with in this country. And even more so, they don't like being excluded from our reparations claim. So, some people are just dirtbags like that. And they'll say, hey, we'll just blow the whole thing up if we can't get any of ours, because we've always looked at these people that were slaves in this country as something less than us, because, hey, we were never slaves in America. Well, you ain't never owned businesses in America like this neither. This is something that stems from us. And see, as we're talking about entrepreneurship and people want us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, what I think keeping our one of our central hubs of economic conversation amongst our community, within our community. Just look at that as the lodge. The unofficial Black Lodge, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not a member of it, you people don't just get a chance to walk up in other people's stuff. And this dude is sitting at this place right here, smack dab in the middle of Harlem, and he's saying, "Hey, the first sign of gentrification. What do they say? Little blonde white girl walking her dog or jogging." And his mind says, no, you need to let it come off up in here. By now, you should know better. But we see that this individual clearly does not. So that is why we call this broadcast, it's Mr. Simptastic. And we have to worry about individuals like this coming in our midst with other agendas, because when they fled, that's right, when they fled, they had this fantasy that they were going to come over here and align themselves with whiteness. And then they find out, no, you're still going to be over here in Harlem with the Negroes. But when she asked him, well, would you be with one? Did you see the big long pause and thought in his mind? Now, I do think that there could be another element at play with this fella. So it could be that it ain't necessarily Becky that he's interested in, but he just might be interested in Zaddy.
It's Mr. Simptastic, clear game tragic.
In any event, we always have to ask this question when you see these type of individuals coming around.
Where's your family from?
Because he is saying, hey, Black ladies, open your safe spaces up to the Beckys and the Karens and the Gertrudes. Sisters, what do y'all say? So to this brother, from those of us over here at the Beatzilla PDX official news show, and news break, rather, Beatzilla PDX official news break, we have this to say to this fella, Mr. Simptastic.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, 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 indeed. So with that being said, family, you might disagree with this particular video. I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comments what y'all think. I think this dude is, I think this was one of those agendas that kind of looks like a, you know, it looks like an organized skit to me to push a certain narrative. I could be wrong. It could be legit. In any event, this dude is pushing a certain narrative, and to air it, they wanted to make sure that that narrative goes over the airwaves as well. So, you know, when we have these spaces of ours, they want us to basically relinquish that for everybody else. And to that, I say, hell no. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell, hit the word all. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, you should have done so already, but you can still do that right now. And you can also join and become a member of this channel if you would like to. That's right next to the subscribe button. And you can go ahead and follow me also. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at beatzillapdx, and email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to support this broadcast, you could do so with the Cash Apps and the PayPals. All of those are in the description. And with that being said, man, this one has been, it is Mr. Simptastic.
It's Mr. Simptastic, clear game tragic.
Super tragic. So don't let one of these people get you caught up in opening the wrong doors to the wrong people. And with that being said, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first. Shalom, y'all.